The V is for vision. Vision that we all have, not just to see what's in front of us, but to envision the future that our constituents, our colleagues, our fellow students, the future that we can envision for them. That's part of leadership. All leaders have to be able to see beyond our current state. What is good for us? How do we help and create a shared vision so that we can all get there together? The I in V.I.S.A stands for integrity. Essentially doing the right things in the right way for the right reason. Mm-hmm. No matter what we're doing, we want to make sure that we're doing it to lift up our community, for positive gain, for influence in a positive way. Yeah. The S is strategy. Strategy. There has to be a strategy when we're developing a long-term or a short-term goal. That means we must plan. We must plan and make sure that diversity, equity, and inclusion are a part of this work, that we have individuals who are thought partners with diversity of thought, diversity of experience, diversity of language, and making sure that we're including those voices at the table, that we create a plan, that we have a communication strategy, that we know what we're going to do, and then we're going to have an assessment of what we do to make sure, did it work? And if it did, was it just luck? Or was it part of the strategy and implementation plan that we followed? If there were 7 steps that we needed to implement in this strategy, did we implement all 7 steps with high fidelity, or was it luck? We have to know that so that we can replicate it if it's a plan that we want to ensure that's providing success and successful outcomes for our students, our staff, our families, our community. And finally, the A, accountability. Now, when I arrived in Kent School District as superintendent, I had many conversations with principals and leaders and family members who shared with me, Dr. Watts, accountability is not a fun word for us. In fact, we don't believe that it's a good word for us to use. And I said, well, tell me more. And the reason why they said that is because they viewed accountability as a negative word, that it means that something bad will happen if I make a mistake. And in some ways that can be viewed in that way. That's not how I view it, nor is that how I would like to teach and share this word, because accountability is so important to me and my family and I call it my work family, as well as my home family and my loved ones. The reality is accountability is simple. It's just not easy. Whenever we set a goal and we achieve it, accountability says something should happen. We celebrate it. If it's a pilot, we've done something on a small scale, then we can see how we can bring it to scale so others, like the individuals, the organizations, they can benefit from it. Accountability also says when we set a goal and we don't achieve it, again, something should happen. Now, it doesn't mean something bad happens. It simply means that we must hold ourselves accountable. We must assess what went wrong. Was it a person? Was it a people issue? Was it a policy issue? And determine what needs to be corrected so that we can make sure the plan is successful the next go around. Mm-hmm. The V.I.S.A, vision, integrity, strategy, and accountability are but one way that helps me to lead effectively. As I've often heard, a rising tide raises all ships. What if that rising tide that raises all ships was just that, and we focused on relationships, and we focused on scholarship, the ability to learn and to teach in ways that will be better and brighter, and understand the underpinnings of our world around us through knowledge and acquisition of that content, and then to be able to apply that once we leave these hallowed halls of public education or any education. What if rising tide raised all ships of citizenship, where we are learning how to exist in what we now would refer to as democratic republic, and that our right and responsibility to share our vote, to place influential individuals into positions so that they can ideally help our community to be better, to be stronger, to be supportive of one another as a global community. And also, today's focus really is if we could think about this rising tide as that which allows each one of us to influence others in a positive way so that they could actually achieve their goals, whatever those personal, professional, social, emotional, or community-wide goals may be. That's leadership. So a rising tide raises all ships.